Sky News is taking you behind the scenes into some of the world's most hostile environments with the return of our show, Hotspots.
From dodging gunfire in Syria to navigating gang-controlled streets in Haiti, the series shines a light on how our correspondents, Stuart, Ramsay and Alex Crawford, carry out some of the most hard-hitting journalism in the world.
Let's go. Watch way, right? We're going to get in. Right. Get in.
We just want to ask you a few questions about your involvement with ISIS. Next step for them quite often is getting on a boat and sailing illegally over into Europe.
Es un solo procesamiento, una sola sacada.
Oh my goodness. Whoa, oh my goodness. If you weren't affected, you'd be a bit of a strange person.
Turn off the camera, turn around and go away.
Oh, well, I'm very pleased to say that our special correspondent Alex Crawford is here with us now. It's always such a pleasure to have you when you are back in the UK, because obviously, as Hotspots shows, you spend most of your time travelling the world, going to some of the most hostile, literally, environments. And just talk to us about the idea behind Hotspots.
Well, I think the difference with what we're doing now, which is pretty exciting and all down to our incredibly creative and talented colleague Laura Scott, we're putting it on YouTube, and we've got our own channel, YouTube Hotspots. And it's basically, I think in this era where everyone's doubting everything, they don't know whether I'm telling the truth, you're telling the truth, the politicians are telling the truth, or actually what we're showing them is the truth. I think this is an effort to show raw footage, unvarnished reality, no commentary, you just make your own mind up. And, some of it's pretty crazy. I think my editor's heart skipped a beat when he saw the footage coming in, because it is just unravelling in front of us, and we're just trying to show it as it is, and the viewer makes up their own minds.
I know that the overriding, the sole aim for you and for Stuart is always to deliver the full story first, and what you do is just an incredibly brave aspect of delivering the full story first. But it also, I mean, you watch the footage that's already out there, and I know there's going to be so much more to come. It kind of comes across like a movie. I mean, it's tremendously exciting, it's tremendously dangerous, and we do get a behind-the-scenes look at what you do from day to day, which is unlike almost anything else in the world of journalism.
I mean, let's be clear, we feel like it's an absolute privilege to be in this position. It is so... we feel incredibly responsible to produce the correct story, as all of our colleagues do at Sky News. The thing that's different about this, I guess, is that we're trying to show you how we do it, rather than also what the story's about and the facts, all the key political facts behind it. It's what everyone goes through in order to get the reality, to get the raw, honest truth. And you get a chance to also see the people who are normally behind the cameras, which is like my producer, Chris Cunningham, my cameraman, Garwin McCluckey, who's an absolute, titan in his field. You see what we're going through on the ground. And I remember showing the first bit to one of my daughters, and she said, "Oh my God, is this your idea of a bedtime story?" Watching my mother nearly getting killed. But also she felt, and she's a sort of Gen X, she thought, she actually said, which kind of threw us a little bit, this is better than the actual real report, because you get to see what is happening. And we're finding it out at the same time as the viewer is finding it out.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think there's such a key thing about the kind of not being edited, not being curated, which is in itself an editing process, deciding which bits the audience should see. You can just see it. I was going to ask, is there anywhere that you would kind of pick, because it's all about different places you've been. Is there a particular place that you've been recently, perhaps, or that someone might be able to see on Hotspots that has just stayed with you for whatever reason?
I mean, every to be honest, this might sound like a cliche, but cliches are because they're true. Every little story stays with you a little bit, because you go through so much to get it. Syria is one of the most recent, and it's a place where myself and my crew have spent covering more than a decade. So when you go in and you see dozens and dozens of dead bodies, and some of them are left in the garden of the hospital, and people are still picking it up, and they're incredibly distraught and traumatised. It would be very odd if it didn't stay with you. You know, you take a bit of it away every time you
and the knowledge
you go.
of the history of what they've been through, and even now it's still
Unravelling. Yeah.
Is there any way you haven't got access to yet that you want to get access to?
Gaza. That is the key place for more than 2 years, which we have not, as foreign journalists, have not been allowed in, and we've had to rely on our Palestinian colleagues who have been undermined and derided and belittled and accused of being terrorists and for the best part of 2 years. And that is still my lifetime ambition, to get into Gaza at some stage again, because obviously I've been before, as many other foreign journalists have, but Israel has imposed a blanket ban on unfettered, independent access. And I think that does us all as journalists, a huge disservice, not just to journalists, but to the wider world.
Well, congrats on this new spin-off series, Hotspots. It's available, as Alex has said, on YouTube now, and well worth checking out.
And we look
It's always a pleasure.
We look forward to seeing your coverage of Gaza on it as well. Thank you.
Sophie.